Alright, I'm sticking the chisel in between the steering knuckle and the steering arm, and up she comes. That wasn't Siri, actually, it was a different computer some guy invented, and he's got some new software for it or whatever. One day we'll look back at these and we'll say, how did we ever type these little keypads? We got them embedded in our mouths.
They say nice things to us, like,
oh my god, you're amazing. I love Return of the Jedi too. LOL, you're so sweet.
Before we go, thanks to John Robinson for his reporting on that last
There it is.
Half
an hour to take off 3 crappy washers. I told you they were a pain. Still not loose. Put a vice grip on it. Radio Lab. Jad Boomrah, Michael Crow.
Tim Howard, Brenna Farrell, and Lynn Levy, with help from Douglas Q. Smith, Luke Elzani, and Jessica Crow. Thanks to Andy Richter, David Tyre, Graham Parker, Chris Ballard,
Sammy Hookie, Rex Jones, Lucy and Owen Selby,
Carissa Chad, Kate Less, and Masha Film.
Special thanks to the kids who helped Furby Upside Down, Taro Nagashi Zimmerman, Louisa Tripoli Krasno,
Got it. Oh man.
Fern Cipolla, and Lila Cipolla.
Tiny bit of rust in there.
Talk to you later, bye.
End of message. Yep, Radio Lab. Crazy show. It's entertaining. Need a new antenna for my satellite radio. My crappy antenna that magnetically attaches to the roof of the truck or the car. The little wire broke just outside the antenna, and I touch it and the thing says signal available, then no signal, so need a new antenna. 30 bucks on eBay. Yep. Fluid film just hides the rust. Anything would do the same thing. Still tight.
Radio, WVPA St. Thomasburg at 88.5. WVPR Winter at 88.5. WVPS Burlington at 107.9. WRVT Rutland at 88.7.
There were others accused in connection with the plot.
There's the threads.
To respond to a judge's questions, some knelt in prayer in protest. The families of those who died in the 9/11 attacks watched on a closed-circuit feed posted in various locations in the U.S. Maureen Santora of New York lost her brother that day.
Families all left feeling very frustrated that this was going to be a long, long journey, that we were going to have lots of interruptions, that we were going to have, it was not going to be a swift and speedy trial.
NPR's Dina Temple-Raston has been in the courtroom and describes the antics of defendant Ramzi bin al-Shayb of Yemen.
Ramzi bin al-Shayb started shouting that he was going to get killed in the camp, and no one was listening to what was going on with him, and the guards would say it was a suicide, and it really would be a killing. I mean, it makes it sound, I guess, that it was really kind of wild. It wasn't wild, but it was clear that the whole strategy was to kind of shake things up and not allow them to
Don't want to mangle those, otherwise they'll never come off.
In Pennsylvania, lawyers for former Penn State assistant football coach Jerry Sandusky have filed papers that suggest that he may have more accusers than originally thought.
Right, that nut now, and that nut, and off comes the knuckle. And go the new ball joints.
Penn State assistant football coach is charged with more than 50 U.S.
Sun's moving around. Next issue. I have my special socket that I bought. I made one just like this, but here's the one that I bought. There's a special nut inside there, and it's got 4 receptacles for the teeth, and I've been cranking on this thing, and I don't want to strip it. I've been cranking on it. It's gonna come off sideways and strip. Wonder if I should heat it up a little bit. Nothing's ever so simple, huh? Torch time! I don't want to break those teeth or strip the nut. Then I have a big problem.
net, had no windows. He joked that he was the only astrophysicist in the world
Let's see what happens.
That is no longer the case today. And Perry Lin says,
see what
while Xi wanted to leave, he understands why Chen Guangcheng, the dissident now in the spotlight, is more ambivalent.
This was different in a sense from the Chen Guangcheng case that we're looking at now, because in those days, to leave and go to the U.S. didn't seem
gotta heat it up more.
leaving the Chinese democracy.
Heat it up more.
Speeches that he normally
Well,
is not officially campaigning.
maybe I didn't have to heat it up. I just started hammering on it, and all of a sudden the whole knuckle assembly just fell out. Yep, the whole thing just went kablooey on the ground. So now I got to put some oil in here and get that Romney. Romney.
Take the country back. And as you heard there, he said we've come too
Spray
far to
some
do
lubricant in here. I'm going to take out the
Scott, no accident,
special tensioning
starting out
nut.
in Ohio and Virginia.
No, these are expected to be two of the most hotly contested states.
And then take the knuckle inside into my cluttered vise area and start changing the ball joints, which aren't that bad.
Putting a lot of resources into these two states.
A little loose.
We expect a very
Upper one's not bad. I'll change them. I got them.
Ohio and Virginia. And one
All right, knuckles in the vise. This is the upper ball joint. The lower ball joint has been removed, and that's a bit of play. It's not too bad. And if it's the original one for 265,000 miles, and this one,
This is NPR.
yeah, it's a little loose. So I'm glad I took it apart. Now I gotta. Is there a snap ring on this one like there is on the lower one?
Songwriting is kind of your own voice, and you can use to ask yourself those questions.
I'm Rachel Martin. Meet John Fulbright and his Oklahoma song, Sunday on Weekend Edition from NPR News.
One of these two you have to put in first. I think you have to put this one in first, the upper one, because you gotta pound the heck out of it. I don't remember, I'll figure it out.
Alright, how about some classy clarinet?
Gone! I got tired of working it with a greasy part, so I thought about putting it in my parts washer. And see what we got inside the parts washer. Oh, the old burned out parts from last year's 4L80E rebuild junk. Where is the steering knuckle? Oh, it's sitting on the edge of the blade of the Blazer. Time to clean it off. Let's use diesel fuel for parts cleaner, so oily in itself. Cheap and plentifully available. Uh-oh. All gone. Junk. Alright, time to press this ball joint out. In the past I've hammered on it with sockets and hammers, and it just makes a mess, so got my usual mess of junk. Am I going in the right direction? Yep. How many tons? 12-ton press? Not the biggest press. It's tight. I don't know if I want to record this for you guys when it blows up. Oh, I'm cranking on it. 2 minutes 52 seconds left. I better delete more, make more space. Garrison Keeler's on Prairie Home. This is what it takes. Let's see if I can get this camera on my cluttered drill press. I'll show you what I'm doing here. Tighten it up with the hydraulic jack. And then you tap on it, because the shock is what gets things to come loose. Small hammer, big hammer. Yep, there it goes. Told you. Experience. Crank on this hydraulic jack. There it goes. Beautiful thing. Okay? Crank. Whee! Yeah, I've done this before, like I said, with... Uh-oh, this is going to go flying into my other bucket of junk. Whoop! Like I said, watch your toes. There it is. Oh man, the way I have struggled in the past. Hammers and sockets and had this press here all the time. Just a tiny bit of looseness. Alright, I gotta press the new one in. Alright, progress report. Garrison Keillor has already had Guy Noir Private Eye. I got the lower ball joint pressed in using my giant set of Chinese sockets. This is definitely not a do-it-yourself backyard mechanic job, let me tell you. So that's pressed in all the way. I got my proper spacers so that the ball joint can push right through. And I gotta put the light on that, my overly bright light. Oh, come on. Yep, gotta have it spaced just right, not to crush things. So now I'm doing the upper ball joint. You have to do the lower ball joint first because you gotta put the shaft, the solid bar has to go through to push on the socket. I'm running out of memory. I've only got 15 minutes left. So now I've got the upper ball joint in place, and this is a greasable ball joint, and the grease fitting is lined up right there. So when you turn the steering to the left, the other side is pointing towards the back, accessible, and the other one here is right in there. So in my 87 Mr. Blue sub that's in Indiana, they had put that grease fitting hole pointing to there, and it wore out because you couldn't grease it. So crank this down. It's going in very well. I should be wearing a bulletproof vest in case it blows up. It does open heart surgery on me. Whoop, just stopped. That's it. And there's the grease fitting, and I could put it anywhere from there. Put the grease gun in. I moved it over a few degrees. You can still get to it very easily. Can't have it underneath there like GM did put in. My POS plow truck had it there, and the universal joint spins within a 1/4 inch of it. So you take out the plug, put a fitting in, grease it, put the plug back in. Oh boy. Somebody asked me if they can see my POS plow truck. Yeah, it's 30 miles away, but I never go in that direction. So there's that. Upper ball joint, spicer, lower ball joint. Let's see. Actually, the upper ball joint is a Moog problem solver, and the lower one is a spicer. Moog problem solver. K8194T, made in USA. That's the upper, and the lower one is a spicer, and you can't read it. Made in... I had them right here on the shelf. One right there, and I had one right there. Got one more spare, 3 more spares, and Hyundai inner sway bar bushings, fuel filter, early lower ball joint, lower missing seal, all kinds of goodies. Good Super X grease. Transmission. I spoke to a fellow that used to rebuild transmissions. Now he rebuilds torque converters and sells transmission parts. Winner's Choice Transmission in Pennsylvania, Henryville, Pennsylvania. I tell you, this guy was more than helpful. Spent over an hour on the phone, don't tell anybody, helping me look at every single shaft, bushing, seal, ring, and we actually found a broken drum, which is... where'd it go? Oh yeah, look at that. Broken drum. So I just bought $700 worth of parts from him, a new drum and a new sprag because the rollers are coming loose, and he even told me that this bushing in the back of the transmission spins sometimes, so they have one with a tab that locks in place. And I rocked mine, and wouldn't you know it was loose, so he recommended changing that. This guy knew his stuff, and he was very reasonably priced. He's going to ship it Monday morning with my thrust washers and bushings. Got some metal in that one. Anyhow, so I gotta clean all this mess up. Burned out clutch plates. I'm gonna upgrade it with a one-piece seal. And Spike Punk and I, next Friday, Saturday, are gonna rebuild this transmission. I gotta clean all these parts. Gonna bring some carburetor cleaner and get new solenoids. Solenoid there. Command solenoid here. 1, 2, 2, 3 shifting solenoids there. I learned all about this. I'm getting to be a real pro. Too bad the guy that rebuilt this is a total jerk. And one day I'll write him a nasty letter and take him to court and I'll get absolutely nowhere. Heavy torque converter, it goes back. Alright. What was I just doing here? Oh yeah. Where'd I put that knuckle? It's gone. Oh, here it is. Okay. Time to put things back together. Don't forget that snap ring. We're having fun, aren't we? I suppose. Alright, well, all of our sun has gone away. It's over there somewhere. Plow truck. So, ball joints installed. I've got my extra long grease fitting. How do you like that? This camera doesn't focus up close, unfortunately, I see. Junk. Oh well. It's going bye-bye real soon. I don't know what to get. iPhone, J phone, S phone, junk phone. So, I'll put the camera right there on the box. Funky Town. Won't you take me to Funky Town? Won't you take me to Funky Town? I forgot to tell you, I put in that special nut on the top. It's a split spring nut, one that takes that fancy socket that I thought I had to remove first, but in fact I remove it after the ball joint's been pounded out. So, in it goes. My rebuilt steering knuckle assembly. New ball joints. Whoop. Simple as that. There's my new nut. Put it on one thread so it doesn't fall down. And spray a little bit of silicone, clean the threads. And on the top, you have to torque this top using this socket that I bought for 10 bucks. And start putting it back together. Look at that, all the factory black paint. Amazing, huh? I think I need front shocks. Look at my bumpers. They're shiny. That means I'm bottoming out. Yeah, I think I need front shocks, all 4 of them. It's so rare to see a 3/4 ton with the 4 shock option. Quad shock. It's original though. Put on the sticker right in there. Sierra Classic. Look at that beautiful bodywork. Oh man, Pisser is such a good guy. Priceless. Totally priceless. New tires coming. I'm going to sell those complete, those 16.5. Somebody else could enjoy them and burn them up.